Well, we've all been there. No matter how hard you try, at least one room in your house either feels too hot or it feels too cold. Your living room might be exactly the temperature you want, then your bedrooms upstairs are way too hot. Temperature imbalances, oh man, they're annoying, they can be uncomfortable and costly. Now a University of Saskatchewan research team and a Saskatoon company are developing a solution. Sohail Akbari is the CEO of Octopus. It's like octopus with the letter U, Octopus. And Sohail joins us now in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
I got to know, why did you decide to research this?
Oh, well, there's an interesting story behind it. I mean, I've just everything started from my own house. I mean, I have there's major temperature differences everywhere, and I look into the problem. You know, I have a master's in mechanical engineering, specialized in heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, see like where the problem comes from. And, you know, doing a little bit of study, you see this is an inherent problem in the systems. Like, I mean, it's something that these systems were just from, you know, exactly 100 years ago when they were born, they came with. And I looked into the history of the story. I see an inventor lady called Alice Parker, you know, filed exactly 100 years ago a patent about a central HVAC system for residential buildings. And then since then, you know, it was just right after the war and there wasn't enough electricity available. So that system was just a natural convection, not a forced air system. And just right before the Second World War, you could get, you know, furnaces that are very similar to what we have nowadays. And since then, pretty much no major changes has been done to the system. It's just that kind of a very old system with the inherent problem of, you know, imperfection ductings and not proper airflow distribution. So I said, well, this is the time to put an end to this, you know, major problem. And then Octopus was born. And for some interesting reasons, we named it Octopus.
Why? Okay, why do you call your fix the octopus?
Yeah, well, if anyone knows about the nervous system of animal, like it's one of the most interesting and most intelligent creatures on the planet. And they have this decentralized nervous system that, like, I mean, has a central brain that makes the major decisions if the animal does. And just exactly like our system, we have a central controller just that replaces your thermostat. And they have this decentralized sensing nervous system that is distributed in all the arms. That arms, like, I mean, they're like, or, you know, temperature sensors and vents that, you know, goes everywhere in your house like an octopus, senses everything, and then based on that, adjust the airflow in a way that you feel more comfortable and you can save quite a bit of energy as well.
So do you have to change your electrical system or your ductwork to make the octopus function?
There is zero modifications needed to your existing system. It's just a plug and play and do-it-yourself system. It's being designed to be 100% wireless and maintenance-free, and there's absolutely no modification needed. It's being designed in a way that can be installed by a homeowner in under 45 to an hour, you know.
So I could actually install it myself?
Yourself. Like, I mean, as long as you have the knowledge of replacing a, you know, receptacle with light switch, you should be able to install this system. That's all it needs.
How much savings? You mentioned there is a cost when we're running the heat too hot in one bedroom, fine in the living room, way too cold in the basement. How much money do you think this could save a homeowner?
Well, I mean, what we are predicting in, you know, simulations and calculations, you know, the payback period, you know, with the current rates of energy in Canada, which is really, really low compared to the worldwide, what they're paying in Europe or Japan or some other places of the world. But I mean, the payback period is something around 10 years. It's not really great, but you know, the fact that you get, you know, that extra comfort and, you know, control over the different places, that would be the major advantage of this system. And
right now, you're pricing it out at about how much? About $1,500?
For an average house, it will be around $1,500. It's anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, depends on the size of your house, because like how many registers you have, how many zones you want, and all of that. Because all the vents, they have to be replaced. But anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. But on an average, let's say house like mine, it's a 4-level split, has 15 vents, and I'm putting 7 zones in it or 7 temperature sensors. With the main controller, will cost around like $1,500 mark. Yeah.
How close are you to actually getting this onto store shelves?
Look, I mean, we are unfortunately, you know, hitting a lot of financial, you know, challenges because, you know, the hardware project is costly to do. And we have a prototype, functional working. So we have proved the concept, and we are 100% sure it's doable. And right now we are working on that minimum viable product, stage to get to that, beta version to be able to deploy in, like, let's say, 10, 15, 20 houses in the town, and then to go from there. But to reach from here to there, we are having like a 6 months of a really hard time ahead to be able to handle all the, financial costs, because there's quite a bit of hardware involved and circuits being built and tested and all that. So we got a little bit of difficulty that way, but I mean, time frame, we're hoping by the end of this year we could, if we can come up with some sponsors, we could possibly, commercialize the product.
And Sohail, if somebody wants to get in touch with you or to find out more about Octopus, how does it work?
Well, it's on our website. They could reach me. It could call us. It could, we got all the means. Nowadays, it's really easy to get in hold of people. It's
all right.
We're open to anyone who would like to talk to us about the challenges, how we could be help on this.
Well, I think there are a lot of us who would like to just quit messing around with our vents and messing around with opening windows, closing windows, and being so uncomfortable at times in our own homes.
Yes, I mean, it's a very inherent problem in our air distribution systems, and it's something beyond like an animal, like a human, ability. It's just a dynamic problem, with moving sun from one side of the house to the other side of the house, all the equations changes. And, you cannot dynamically make response to all these changes. So that's why we come with this automation system that has some artificial intelligence, features built into it. And, solves the problem on, every pretty much 5 seconds we measure temperatures in every place in your house, and we make response to that. So, I mean, there's nothing that system is going to miss. It's and that's one of the reasons we call it Octopus, because it's so responsive to the environment, and it's an intelligent system. So,
all right, Octopus with a U. Thank you so much for telling us about it, Sohail.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
that is Sohail Akbari. He is the CEO of Octopus, which is being developed with a research team at the U of S and his company.